The camera pans over the bustling senior center, a large, sunlit hall filled with the chatter of elderly residents and the clatter of dishes. The air is thick with the aroma of freshly baked cookies and the sweet scent of potpourri. The center, a converted church building, is festively decorated with bunting and balloons for the annual community event. Tables are lined up with crafts, baked goods, and old photographs, each one a testament to the rich lives of those who call this place home. In the corner, a large, chestnut-colored horse stands patiently, his broad chest rising and falling with each breath. This is Max, a retired police horse who has found a new purpose at the senior center. His presence is a blend of the familiar and the extraordinary, a gentle giant who brings a sense of security and joy to the residents. Max's coat shines under the soft glow of the overhead lights, and his eyes, though age-mellowed, still hold a sharpness that speaks to his years of service. The camera follows Max's movements as he meanders through the crowd, his large hooves carefully navigating the polished floor. His former police partner, Officer Jack Thompson, stands nearby, a smile on his face as he watches the horse interact with the residents. Jack, a tall, broad-shouldered man in his late 40s, had been Max's handler for over a decade. He had retired 2 years ago, but the bond between them remained unbroken. Today, Jack is a volunteer, helping to organize the event and ensuring everything runs smoothly. As Max approaches a group of elderly women gathered around a table of homemade quilts, the camera captures the scene in vivid detail. The women, wearing colorful scarves and knitting caps, coo and pat Max's neck, their faces lighting up with delight. One of the women, Mrs. Eliza Johnson, a spry 80-year-old with a mischievous twinkle in her eye, leans in and whispers, "You're a good boy, Max. You always were." The camera shifts to a close-up of Max's nostrils as he sniffs the air. His ears prick up and his head tilts slightly. The camera follows his gaze, revealing a subtle change in the environment. The air is now tinged with a faint, almost imperceptible odor. Max's training kicks in, and he begins to paw the ground, his movements more urgent. The camera pans to Jack, who notices Max's unease. His brow furrows, and he steps closer to the horse. "What's wrong, Max?" he asks, his voice low and reassuring. Max's head turns toward a nearby corridor and he snorts, a clear sign of alarm. Jack's instincts, honed from years of partnership with Max, tell him something is amiss. The camera captures Jack's quick decision as he reaches for his phone and dials the center's main office. "Maggie, it's Jack. Max is acting strange. I think there might be something wrong with the air in here." The camera cuts to Maggie, the center's director, a middle-aged woman with short, curly hair and a calm demeanor. She is seated at a desk, her eyes scanning the room as she takes Jack's call. "Stay with Max, Jack. I'll check it out." Maggie stands and walks briskly toward the corridor Max indicated. The camera follows her, capturing the worried expressions of the residents as they watch her go. She reaches a door marked Boiler Room and hesitates for a moment before pushing it open. The camera peers over her shoulder, revealing a small, dimly lit room. The air is thick with the smell of gas, and the faint hiss of a leak can be heard. Maggie's eyes widen, and she quickly pulls out her walkie-talkie. "Emergency! Gas leak in the boiler room! Evacuate the building immediately." The camera captures the chaos that ensues as staff, and volunteers spring into action. The hall fills with the sound of hurried footsteps and raised voices. Jack, still by Max's side, helps guide the residents to the nearest exit. The camera follows Max as he leads the way, his calm presence a beacon of reassurance in the midst of the commotion. One of the residents, Mr. Harold Simmons, a former firefighter in his mid-70s, lags behind, his cane slipping on the floor. The camera captures Jack's swift movement as he reaches out and steadies Mr. Simmons. "Take it easy, Harold. We've got you." The camera shifts to a wide shot, showing the seniors making their way to the safety of the parking lot. Max's large, comforting presence is a constant at the forefront, his steps measured and deliberate. The camera captures the expressions of relief and gratitude on the faces of the residents as they reach the fresh air. Back inside, the camera follows the fire department as they arrive and begin to assess the situation. The boiler room is now a scene of intense activity, with firefighters in full gear working to seal the leak and ventilate the area. One of them, a young woman named Sarah, glances at Max as he stands by the door, watching the proceedings with a sense of vigilance. "You're a hero, Max," Sarah says, patting the horse's shoulder. "If it weren't for you, this could have been a disaster." The camera captures Jack's pride as he nods in agreement. He never stops being a cop, even in retirement. The camera pans to the faces of the residents as they gather in the parking lot. Their voice is a mix of concern and thankfulness. Mrs. Johnson, the woman who had patted Max earlier, steps forward and looks up at the horse. "Max, you've got a heart of gold. You saved us all today." The camera captures Max's gentle nicker, a soft, affirming sound that seems to acknowledge the praise. Jack's hand finds its way to Max's mane, and he strokes it affectionately. "You did great, buddy. You did great." As the camera continues to capture the aftermath, the residents begin to share stories and memories, their voices blending into a warm, communal hum. One of them, Mr. Thompson, a retired veterinarian, steps forward and places a hand on Max's flank. "I knew you were special, Max. You've got a nose for trouble." The camera captures the exchange of glances between Jack and Mr. Thompson, a silent acknowledgement of the bond that exists between humans and their animal companions. The fire department confirms that the leak is contained and the building is safe. The residents, though shaken, are relieved and grateful. The camera follows Max and Jack as they return to the center, the tension in the air gradually dissipating. The hall is now quiet, the tables and decorations left untouched. Max's nostrils flare one last time, and he sniffs the air, satisfied that the danger has passed. The camera captures the moment as Jack leads Max to his stall, a small, cozy space in a converted stable behind the center. Max's eyes meet Jack's, and the camera lingers on the exchange, a silent bond of understanding and loyalty. As the sun sets, the camera captures the senior center from a distance, the building now a symbol of safety and community. Max stands at the window of his stall, his eyes scanning the horizon, ready for whatever the next day may bring. The camera shifts to a month later, the senior center now bustling with activity once again. The walls are adorned with a new painting, a vibrant scene of Max leading the residents to safety. The camera captures Jack's smile as he stands beside the painting, his hand on Max's shoulder. "Max, you've become a legend around here," he says, his voice filled with pride. "But I know you're still on the job, just in a different way." The camera captures Max's contented nicker, the sound echoing through the hall. In the background, the residents laugh and chat, their lives touched by the quiet heroism of a retired police horse who never forgot his duty to protect. The camera fades to black, the final words appearing on the screen. "In the eyes of a hero, every day is a chance to make a difference."